I am playing the hit 2007 MMORPG game, Lord of the Rings Online. It is a beautiful game full of wonderful locations, but it has places of wonder people never notice, just sitting out in the open, or places I find remarkable. And with the release of Moria on the 4th of December, I thought I would show you places of Eriador. So come with me as we explore the landscape of Middle-earth. First place of note is the Swift Brook. Located in the hills of Evendim, this gorgeous out-of-the-way loud waterfall is nestled away, and with the game's ambience and music, it is truly a sight to behold. I also like how the water flows down the hill into a large open pond, which then leads to another waterfall, which leads into the lake. I will always note that sound will always play a key role in any video game, but Lord of the Rings Online, it's something special for sure. Which leads us to a tiny island in Breland in the Brandy Hills. Girdley Island, on closer inspection, must get some visitors, with it having 2 docks for rowboats. I can imagine it is used as a small fishing spot, or even as a watch point for the Rangers of the North, as this little island looks upon the Shire and the crossings of the Brandywine River. In the distance you can see the Brandywine Bridge. I would like to think the Dunedain Rangers would use this island as a crossing point into the Shire, so they do not intrude upon the daily lives of the hobbits. But I like this area. It's peaceful, it's quiet, and the sleepy strumming of the guitars really make this place tranquil. I also love that at dusk, the sunset really brings a nice glow to the water as it bounces off the water's surface. And I saw for sure, just beyond the elven refuge of Celondim, in Falaforlorn, is a stone balcony that looks at a lovely waterfall, and at the waters of Lewin River. From this balcony, I always like how the housing district's lights flicker on the surface of the water, the music being peaceful, speaking of a race that will soon depart Middle-earth, never to return. Though I will always say, the original waterfalls were much more of an eyesore before the developers edited the landscape. I also like the stone garden area that is just across from the port. Originally, this was the place all elven players would spawn into the main world, and it still holds nostalgic lovely feelings for me. I love the elven statues and the mystical lighting. Okay, so the next one will sound weird to some of you, so let me explain. I like the ruins around Weathertop and the Midgewater Marshes. I think it's a part of me that likes history and archaeology. I see the torn up landscape and I go and I see this wall here and I want to follow it and see what it would have looked like before it was all destroyed. Like the Midgewater Marshes are awesome because you see all this water and marshland, but around it are these ruins. And my brain goes, there must have been a dam system to control water flow. But during the Witch King's invasion, it must have been destroyed, flooding the fields around the forts, making it isolated. So yeah, maybe weird, but to me, I want to learn more. I want to see concept art of the walls and the forts before they were destroyed. I must have the knowledge. Like where I am standing feels like a man-made waterway that must have been underwater to control the water flow. And then there is a wall here, and I wonder to myself if there was a dam here originally. So from the distance, I feel the water must have been much higher up to open up the land into the Midgewater. So looking at the Midgewater from a distance, you can really see how the landscape must have been devastated by the dam being destroyed, as well as the walls of the fort must have been crushed by the sheer weight of the pressure. And again, that is so cool. Like the fort in the Midgewater is called Marshwater Fort, but I feel the history of what it was called originally was lost to time. Anyway, moving on to the next area. In the Troll Shores, with the release of Volume 1 Book 11, a new area called Talbrunnen was added, and honestly it's one of the most beautiful places in the game, in my opinion. The music and the way the red leaves of the trees really add to this area's beauty, and that's when it gets to dusk, And oh my goodness, the water. Yes, I'm going there again. The water just lights up, and the trees and the sunset just create this relaxing environment. It will always be one of my favourite places to level up and visit. It's also a great area because it's the first area we see Gollum. I will always appreciate that the developers added places from the books. And one such place that is hidden away is the cave Thorin's company would hide in from the Great Storm, but would soon find out that the error of finding a place to hide in haste when they are captured by goblins of Goblin Town. I really like the east side of the Misty Mountains. It's got snow falling to give that nice winter feeling, and also feels dangerous for the amount of goblins and wargs wandering about. But what is also awesome is the abandoned giant ruins close by to the entrances of Goblin Town. That Thorin's company were in a really dangerous place when the giants were throwing boulders at each other. To finish up, we are in Thorin's halls, and a lower section of the halls where there are these cool water reflections that are coming off the walls of the buildings. I like that it's created from the crystals outside the Reputation faction area of the halls. Even the water has a crystal-like glow from the light of the crystals. Very cool looking. You have two dwarves fishing off the bridge, and bats flying about the light. Got some dwarves enjoying their day. They probably had a long day mining or crafting and need to play some music. They might have spent the evening in a tavern having a few rounds of drinks. And what do we have here? We have a dwarf scared of bats. They don't want them getting caught in their beard. That's adorable. But those are some of my favourite areas from Lord of the Rings Online, from the Shadows of Angmar. What are yours? Let me know in the comments. I will be streaming the opening of Moria on the 4th of December. You should pop on by and say hi. Until then, this is the Rising Fawn. Take care and good night.